As we continue our celebrations of International Women's Day, I'm delighted to welcome Janneke Schopman onto the video. So hi, Janneke, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good, Sarah. How are you?
Yeah, really good. Now we're speaking just after the weekend's matches between India and Spain. A good result and a not so good result, but overall you're pretty happy with the outcome, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean it's been great for the girls to play at home for a long time actually. Olympic qualifiers was the last time to play at home, even without a crowd. It brings a little bit of extra pressure, but I think we fared pretty well. There's lots to improve, but I'm quite happy with some of the glimpses I've seen, and I'm excited to see our next step in this journey.
Yeah, and I mean, I must congratulate your team because I thought both matches were not only high quality, but really exciting hockey matches as well, you know, both close and both some great skills on display. But we're here really to talk about you. And as one of only two women working at the moment as head coaches in the top tier of international hockey, I just wondered, do you feel a sense of responsibility to other aspiring female coaches as a role model in that position?
Yeah, I think responsibility, like it's kind of an honor, I think, to be able to be a head coach at this level. So I'm coaching with great pride of a great country, and I do think it's important that girls, women in general, see that this is an opportunity and that this is something, if you want to pursue it, that you should definitely go for it. That's what I tell my players all the time as well. And it's not about coaching, because for me, it's not about becoming a coach unless they want to. But I always say, if you have your goals set for something and you know what you want and you know how you want to get there, it doesn't really matter. You just have to go for it. And it doesn't matter if you don't get there, but just try to reach your goals.
Yeah, because I guess whatever the arena, whether it be sport, whether it be music, whether it be business, even construction, which I think is your own background, it's actually just having somebody visible who looks like you, isn't it? You know, if you can see a woman in a position, you can think, oh yeah, I could get there myself one day.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, like, especially now also coaching in India, I try to tell the girls a lot about, you know, learn more about yourself, what you're good at. And I'm not just talking about hockey skills, but I'm talking just about, you know, what are your qualities? What do you love to do? And just pursue something later in life that fits you and that suits you, and pursue it and see if you can make a difference. And if you don't want to make a difference, that's also fine. But at least figure out what you want, and you can do anything you want, because I'm a strong believer that you can do anything you want. You can at least try.
Absolutely. It's obviously a high pressured role, probably particularly now because you're in an absolutely hockey loving nation. But what have you learned over your time with both the USA and India and other coaching roles that you've had about just keeping a balance in your own life?
Yeah, I think what I've learned, or the biggest impact basically in my coaching career, I'll say, is working with Peter Haberly, who's a sports psychologist for the USOPC. And he's a big proponent of mindfulness. He's actually writing a book right now. And he helped me actually a lot. He helped our team. And right now I'm just more calm in a way, and I think value more that hockey is what I love, coaching is what I love, but that there are other things in life, and that it's okay to feel not okay. It's okay to feel pressure, and to kind of allow myself to accept a little bit more my flaws, for the better lack of it, like my impatience, my perfectionism potentially, like, and giving myself more space, and I think that has helped me create a better balance. Although if you would ask my family, they still don't think I have much of a balance. But for me, the balance is more small things, like we live on a campus, but I was always very much like, on Sunday I typically don't want the girls to see me, or just, you know, saying hi, but I don't want to take much of their time. And it's also a day where I typically try not to work and try to relax and do some other things. And especially because of COVID hit, you know, we can't leave the campus or the compound, or so it becomes difficult, but trying to normalize, this is my job, this is hockey, and then going to, this is, a little bit of relaxation, and this is important for me to wind down. That is something that I learned in the last years, I'd say.
Can you give us an insight what your relaxation activities are? Do you knit? Do you bake? Do you run?
The
Or
girls
are you
would
going to
love to
surprise
say
us completely?
No, I actually, I like to run, and I do that typically every day. I try to do some sort of workout, and can be just 20 minutes of core, but it's also time for myself. I run 3 times a week. But typically my biggest relaxation is getting a good cup of coffee, sitting outside, grabbing my Kindle, and just read mind-numbing novels that are not about anything other than just enjoying something else. So that's my go-to.
Coffee culture. So you can take the lady out of Holland, but you can't take Holland out of the lady. During your time in international coaching, have there been, I mean, you've obviously been in international coaching for a long time now. Have you spotted any sort of really major changes in coaching trends that have perhaps surprised you a little bit?
You try out, I always feel like there's ebbs and flows, and it's like, I think the women's game has become more skillful. And I always used to say, well, I still say it, like, people would ask me, well, your ultimate dream must be to coach a men's national team. And I'd be like, why? Well, that's the highest level. I'm like, well, why? Because I don't agree. I think the women's level is as high as the men's level. It's just different. And I'll probably never be a men's coach. It's not that I don't want to, or that I can't. I don't know, but I love women's hockey, and I love the challenges it offers. I think because it is quick, but it's not so quick that tactically there's a lot of things you can do and change. But my biggest thing I've seen in the last years is, like I said, like in women's hockey 10 years ago, there might be 3 players that can play a high ball. And I think right now, pretty much everyone can play a high ball. I think 3D skills and elimination skills and the speed that the women's game has at this point is incredible. And it's different. And I think, like, you'll never catch up, but I do think the women's game is actually quite exciting right now because of all those things that are added. And it poses its unique challenges. But when you tell me you really enjoyed watching our game, that's how I want to coach, play attacking, fast hockey, using our skills. Yeah. Sometimes we give up too many opportunities. That's something, as a core defender myself, I don't like, but I can live with it.
Yeah, and I mean, anybody who hasn't seen those games at the weekend and wants to see high quality skills, they really ought to tune in. There's Katrina Powell, there was Alison Annan until just a short while ago, and I'm sure she'll be back. But what do you think are the reasons there are so few female coaches at the highest level?
It's tough, because I can say I don't know. That's the easy answer. Do people have the ambition? I think yes. Do you get the opportunity? I think in countries like Australia, Netherlands, for sure, US, India, now you get the opportunity as a female to be a head coach. And I think that does play a role. I was thinking about it because I worked in construction, and I've never really experienced a holdback in my career. I pursued my career goals, and yeah, it was never because I was female that I wasn't allowed an opportunity. But I had female colleagues that sometimes said that they had some issues. So it's difficult for me to comment on that piece. But I do think that women in general perhaps choose their family over their job more than men would. And that's difficult, because you should ask men that. And I just told some of my male staff, no offense, but it is difficult. You're away from your family a lot. But like I said, I worked in construction, and a lot of my female colleagues that were very talented only worked part-time. And when I asked them why, I said, well, I just want to spend time with my kids. I don't want to work 40 hours, 50 hours. I just want to be there when they come home from school. And I see that with my sister. I see that with a lot of my friends also, that at some point when they have kids, that trumps basically a career goal they have, and they'll pursue it, but maybe when the kids are older and when that is more of a choice, for the lack of a better word.
Yeah, no, that's a great answer. And actually, there probably are several female coaches now who, once they've got their family bit done, will be following you into coaching. So, let's watch this space. What would your words of advice be to one of those female coaches with aspirations to coach at the highest level, aside from leave the family at home?
Yeah, I mean, I think you have to love what you do. And for me, it's never been difficult, and I think it's been more difficult on my family at times, that I'm away a lot. At the same time, when I'm there, I always say, when I'm there, I'm really there. I'm spending a lot of time with them then. I think you have to understand that you have to love what you do, because it does take an investment, and it takes a lot of your time. But if you have that mindset, just be open to try and learn new things, look around you. I think I've, worked as an assistant coach. I've worked with different style coaches. I've learned from the players I've worked with, and that makes me the coach I am right now. And I think if you have aspirations, just, try to find ways of learning. And that can be in your sport, that can be by shadowing, that can be by picking up the phone and asking questions. What I really like, Sarah Thomas and Janne Müller-Wieland, they started this unthink movement, I always want to call it. And they have these courses. I've been on those. And why? Because I just also want to learn and see, is there something that I can take from it? Listen into webinars. There's so many tools and tips and tricks that you kind of have. Just don't be afraid to ask, I would almost say, because I think a lot of people are willing to help, and I'm willing to help. And I think a lot of female coaches are willing to help, but you do have to ask the question, because if you don't ask, people will not, people are busy. So just ask.
Yeah, put yourself out there, ask the question, and the world is your oyster, which is great. Thank you so much for spending time talking to us, because I know you've got a lot of preparation before your next set of Pro League matches. So good luck with those, and good luck in what is going to be a very, very busy season for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.